King Frederick and his brother Joachim are constantly at odds with each other, and it doesn't help that one lives abroad while the other resides in Denmark. Joachim, in particular, never ceases to tease his older brother, as evidenced by a recent interview. Last year, Joachim and Princess Marie of Denmark decided to start a new life away from home. They both embarked on a new journey on the east coast of the United States. Joachim works at the Danish embassy in Washington, while his wife takes care of their 2 children. Is it a fresh start or an escape? That's the question. In September 2022, Queen Margrethe, who was still reigning at the time, announced that she was stripping Joachim's 4 children of their princely titles. She informed her son of this decision just 5 days prior. The pain still runs deep, as expressed by Marie in an interview with the Washington Post. We weren't happy about how it happened, but it's a family matter. It's complicated. Their children were stripped of their identity. Her husband, too, remains disappointed by his mother's decision. However, unlike his wife, he tries to look to the future, emphasizing we move on. Sibling rivalries happen in the best of families, even among royal figures. In Britain, there's William and Harry. In Denmark, Frederick and Joachim. The prince and princess became a count and countess. End of story. This is a fact that Joachim and his children have had to come to terms with, even if it takes some getting used to being a count now, as Count Nikolai said in an interview. Prince Joachim against the rest of the family behind palace walls. Life is bubbling, and has been for a long time. Shortly before the proclamation, there were even rumors. According to a Danish newspaper, Joachim's eldest sons were allegedly not invited to the throne succession. He himself arrived, albeit without his wife Marie, but left the following day, palace representatives say. A real scandal after all. Nikolai and Felix are close family members, albeit not playing a significant role in the line of succession. The fact that they were absent from such a historic event could be seen as a clear sign. Relations between Frederick and Prince Joachim have long been considered strained, although they were once very close. Only 7 days separate these two, a good year that diverged their lives in completely different directions. Frederick is the king, Joachim always lagging a few steps behind. Their childhood and youth once united them. Their parents were often absent, and nannies raised both princes. According to a Danish journal, Frederick and Joachim initially attended a public school in Copenhagen in the 1970s, and in 1982, as teenagers they spent a year at a boarding school in Normandy, France. A difficult time, especially for reserved Frederick. In the book Under the Beam, the heir to the throne reminisced, it was in our early teens that we went to boarding school, where we were left to ourselves for a long time. Fortunately, we lived in the same house. I remember it meant a lot to me that he was there. Everybody's darling Joachim. In the 1980s and 1990s, Joachim was more popular among the Danish people than his brother. Roles have reversed compared to today. Frederick was considered shy, whereas his brother enjoyed being in the limelight. Today, Mary and Frederick are considered the Danish royal family's dream couple. In the 1990s, it was different. Joachim and his wife Alexandra dominated the gossip columns in a positive light. Frederick was perpetually lonely and played third wheel, but then came Mary. The Australian stormed Denmark, injecting glamour and cosmopolitan spirit into the royal family. Joachim's role became less significant, especially when he divorced Alexandra in 2005. He never managed to regain the popularity of the 1990s. The brothers are rarely seen together now. In 2019, Joachim and his family moved to France. In 2020, Joachim and Marie informed Danish media that the choice of their new place of residence was not of their own volition. In the summer of 2023, the family relocated to Washington, D.C.